Hey everyone, welcome back. So today is Wednesday. CORZ Scientific provided their end of year 2021 financial numbers yesterday. I've spent about like an hour and a half right now going over the numbers, and I'm maybe a little bit confused here. So hopefully you guys can help me out with that. So we'll take a look at those numbers. We'll take a look at the miners, see how they did today, how Bitcoin is doing right now, and then we'll get into the real numbers for CORZ Scientific. As always, not financial advice, you know the drill. These are the companies I'm also invested in and coins. So let's take a look at the miners here really quick, and then we'll get into the numbers for CORZ Scientific. So ANY was down today 5.6% to $2.19. We're seeing a pattern here where the stocks are down basically the last 2 days, but they are up a little bit in the after hours to 2.28% to $2.24. Argo was also down 7.45% to 94 cents on the day. Bitfarms was down 5.4% to $4. Cleanspark was down 4.89% to $12.45. CORZ was down as well to down 3.44% to $8.41. It's up a little bit in the after hours, 1.31%. Digihost was down 3.16% to $3.68. DMG was down 1.26% to 57 cents. Hive was down 2.64% to $2.21. Hot 8 was also down 4.76% to $5.80. Iris Energy was down, they were actually up 1.86% to $15.90. They're up in the after hours again to 4.34% to $16.59, which is surprising that they are up. Luxxfolio was down 3.57% to 28 cents. Marathon was down 5.07 to 29.56, and they're up a little bit in the after hours right now, up 0.68% to 29.76. Mawson was down 0.37% to $5.35, up a little bit in the after hours to 5.42. And Riot was down 4.17% to 22.04. So it looks like everybody was down pretty much, and they are up a little bit now to 22.10 in the after hours. So other than Iris Energy, everybody else was down for the day on the charts. Let's take a look at Bitcoin here as well. So Bitcoin has been trading sideways, trading down a little bit, but it has been bouncing off of our support here at 47,000. We did wick down below it a little bit here. This was yesterday at about, 9 o'clock in the afternoon. Came back up above it, and then in the morning we went down below it again at 8 o'clock in the morning, went back up. So we're definitely battling this support here at 47,000. We'll see if we can maintain it. We are just barely up above it right now at 47,141. RSI is still looking okay, but I wouldn't be surprised if we fell below it just by the number of times that we've touched this, and we're basically battling it right now. So we'll see how this goes on further. And Ethereum was today at 3,391. It is down a little bit right now, but it was doing the same thing that obviously Bitcoin was doing, up and down. It's battling with this, looks like 3,390 mark right around here. Looks like we got support right around there, 33.88 roughly. So it looks like this is the support line here. We should probably draw a line in here for support, and we'll see how this plays out. Okay, so let's take a look at the numbers from CORZ Scientific. These are all the detailed numbers. We'll have to scroll back up here. All right, so CORZ Scientific announces full fiscal year 2021 results. Some of the highlights here are net revenue increased 803% to $544.5 million. Gross profit increased by 2,443% to $238.9 million. Net income increased to $47.3 million. Self-mining operations increased BTC production 350% to 5,769. Total hash rate of 13.5 exahash, consisting of 6.6 exahash self-mining and 6.9 exahash hosting. And then here's a quote from Mike Levitt, their chief executive officer. So our total hash rate increased from less than 3 exahash at the year-end 2020 to 13.5 exahash at the year-end 2021. This market-leading growth generated over 5,700 self-mined Bitcoins in 2021. In the first 2 months of 2022, our total hash rate grew to 15.9 exahash, and we self-mined over 2,000 Bitcoins. So obviously a huge growth for them this past year in 2021. And we'll take a look at the numbers here shortly, but obviously they are possibly the biggest. I think they are the biggest miner right now that I'm covering, or that's even out there. And they do want to grow even more. So fiscal year 2021 financial results, total revenue increased by 484.2 million or 803% to 544.5 million in 21 from 60.3 million in 2020. Huge growth obviously there. Total hosting revenue increased by 37.7 million or 91% to 79.3 million in 2021 from 41.6 million in 2020. The increase was driven by the execution of new customer hosting contracts for miners deployed during the year ended December 31. Total equipment sales increased by 235.6 million or 1,871% to 248.2 million in 2021 from 12.6 million in 2020. So they're making quite a lot of money from selling equipment. And going down here, outlook. So in 2022, the company expects to achieve total hash rate of between 40 exahash and 42 exahash with total power between 1.2 megawatts and 1.3 megawatts. So this is obviously an increase from where they were originally planning to be. We'll take a look at the numbers here in a minute. But going down now into the numbers here, total assets of 2.4 billion, which is huge. I think their market cap right now is 2.8 or something like that. We'll take a look at it as well, based on what I have as far as how many shares are outstanding, and we'll take a look at that as well in a little bit here. So total liabilities is 1 billion, a little bit over 1 billion right now. So obviously net positive on assets. And here we go. So hosting revenue from customers, where was the numbers here that I was looking at here? Cash flows, where did it go? Here we go. Core scientific segments results in thousands. Equipment sales, hosting services 77.6. What was this over here? Hosting revenue from customers was 62. Except per share amounts. Okay. It's all right. All right, here we go. So hosting revenue, equipment sales and hosting segments. So hosting revenue was 70.9 million roughly. Cost of hosting services was 77.6 million. So they made about, 1.6 million, 1.5 something million on it. So that's, very little net income from hosting, which is obviously providing them almost 80 million, but cost on it is so huge, 77 million, that you're making peanuts compared to your own mining on it. The other big thing is obviously equipment sales was 248 million. Cost of equipment sales was 177 million. So they actually, made like 70 some odd million in sales compared to the hosting part of it. So the hosting, it seems like it's a drag on them more than anything else. And then digital asset mining income, so this is their own mining here, was 216 million, with a gross margin of 77% with only cost of revenue of 50 million. So that is a lot better here. I wouldn't be surprised going forward if they started, kind of dwindling this hosting revenue down and getting their own miners installed, because it's just so much more profitable going that route. It is actually, it's more expensive because you have to put out a lot of capital to get your own miners, but I think it's the better way to go than hosting. So let's see if there's anything else here. I think this was it on it. Yeah, the main thing that I wanted to talk to you guys here on it. But let's take a look at the numbers here. And then we'll go back to when they reported that they are doing the merger with XPDI. They became CORZ obviously now, since I believe it was back in January, I believe, somewhere around there, that they became CORZ. And we'll look at some of the numbers from the 9 months ended in September to kind of see if we can figure out what the actual quarter numbers were. Okay, so here's what I got for them on the numbers part of it here. So 12 months ended December, they made 216 million for the full year. From their prospectus that was dated back on, we can take a look at it here. I don't know exactly when this was provided, but they provided that they made for the 12 months ended December 31st. Is that the right numbers? 12 months, December 31st, unedited. Oh, these are the unedited numbers. We're down here that I was looking at. Let's take a look. Assets. 9 months ended. Here we go. Okay. So I may have messed up here. What did I have here? 149 million, 149. Okay, no, that's right. Okay, so obviously they had block cap historical, so I'm guessing they merged or bought out block cap a while back, last year possibly. So they were combining the mining of both to 149 million basically. That is on their own mining. Hosting was 39.9 million, which I think corresponds to here. Yep, 39, okay. So this is where I'm getting the information. So you guys are aware of this. So to figure out what they basically made for the quarter of October, November, December, which is Q4, I came up with about 67 million based on taking the 12-month ending December minus the 9-month ending September to come up with the difference of 67 million. So correct me if I'm wrong on this, if I'm doing this somehow wrong. I think I'm doing this right, but there's just a lot of numbers going back and forth between the two. So then to get basically quarterly results going for Q3 and Q2, I took the numbers from the 9 months ended, divided by 9, and then multiplied it by 4 to get this number here. And the reason I did that is because obviously they were probably installing more miners during that time, so I think they're going to be getting more. So these are estimates. I don't know these numbers for sure. And then on this one, I did the same thing, divided by 9 and multiplied it by 3. And then Q2 would have been, or Q1 would have been 9 months divided by, or the amount divided by 9 times 2 to kind of get a rough estimate. So these are not exact numbers here. That's why I'm saying this is really confusing going back and forth between the two, trying to figure this out. Going forward, once we get the quarterly results for this quarter, maybe they'll provide some information on the previous quarter, but this is what I'm getting right now of what they earned in self-mining, which was 67.3 million roughly. And then coming back down here to the hosting part of it, I came up with, they reported 79 million rough, 79 million for the 12 months, 39 million for the quarter ended in September. So the same thing, I did it subtracting the 9 September quarter from the December quarter and getting the number of 39 million basically of what they generated. But going back to the numbers here again, went too far. To these numbers, we can see that hosting revenue and cost of hosting revenue, it is just so high on the costing revenue. You're looking at approximately like a 2% profit margin on that. Looking at it the way it is right now, I don't know if that has changed, if that has gotten better at all, but at 2%, you're looking at possibly an income of 788,000 for the Q4 quarter. Q3, I'm looking at somewhere around 354,000, if that's the case. These are just estimates, like I said, my best guess scenarios that I could come up with here as far as what they could be possibly earning from those. So the tough part for me is, do I use the numbers that they provided for the gross mining, right? Especially since this is such a low percentage net income. I'm almost thinking about not to even include these numbers for hosting because, these numbers here are going to heavily influence the totals here that we have up here when they are combined. Excuse me. So when I combine the numbers, we're looking at, last 3 quarters. This includes the self-mining, the hosting, and combined with this current quarter, we're looking at 413 roughly million in revenue. But if part of that is such a low net income, it almost doesn't make any sense to include it in here. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But looking at these numbers right now, if we were to include them in there, 75% net income, I'm looking at a price to earnings multiple of 20. They should be around 1953, which would represent that they are undervalued. I mean, look at the market cap there at 2.6 billion also, which shows, they have what, 2.2 billion, roughly 2.4 billion in assets alone. So this leads me to think that they are undervalued. But let's take a look at the numbers if we used if we didn't even use these numbers here. So if we, let me copy this over here so I don't lose the numbers. Let's see here. Paste. Yeah, I can't figure that's going to happen. Delete. Let's see here. Copy. Add file. Edit. Paste. Formula results. There we go. Okay, so I don't lose the numbers there. So let's put these in at 0 here. And that is obviously going to change how much they actually have combined just on their own mining by themselves. So even with that, if we take out those numbers, we're still looking at about $16.20 for the stock using the price earnings multiple of 20. So that still leads me to believe that they are undervalued, way undervalued in my opinion right now. And the hard part is obviously trying to figure out what are they earning as far as their own mining, because we're going back and there's a lot of stuff going before the merger happened. And we don't have a lot of quarterly results, so it's hard to figure out what they should be actually worth. The shares outstanding, I think it was provided in the prospectus that I was looking at here. Let's see if we can find it here. I think they provided it was around 300 million combined shares that they're going to have on it, which would be pretty close to what I have right now. And that was, let me see if I can find that here. I know I saw it somewhere here. On here, let's take a look. Price, Bitcoin, Ethereum, total. I know it was in here someplace because I saw after the merger was going to happen how much they're going to be combined. And it was around 300 and some odd million shares. So I think that number is correct. If you guys can verify that, that would be great. I'm just going off memory here. I believe I saw it here someplace, whether it was in the beginning or someplace towards the end of it. That was the case that I was seeing here. Here it is. Yeah, common stock base, sick and diluted is going to be 333 million. And then pro forma combined 100% redemption was 298 million. So we are, like I said, right there, 317 million, which is pretty close to what they have. So market cap right now is showing 2.6 billion. This is from Google. Stock price of $8.41. So in my opinion, they are undervalued. The current hash rate that I have for them is 8.2 exahash on their own mining. Hosting is now approximately 7.7 exahash. Combined is about 15.9 exahash or so right now currently. And they did say that their future hash rate is going to be around 40 to 42, which is another increase of about 8 to 10 exahash on top of that this year, which we haven't heard anything from them as far as what they're going to be buying and how much they're going to be buying. But obviously they have to be buying a lot of miners to get to that point, whether it's through their own self-mining or hosting. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this, because I think this is kind of interesting. And I did include the hosting part of it here as well, but I may take it out. Let me know what you guys think on that. Obviously, the numbers kind of speak for themselves. If it is only 2% that they're making on the mining, the hosting itself, I don't know if it's worth including in the data here, because it's just so minuscule compared to everything else that they're doing. And it obviously is going to influence the numbers, but you know, gross revenue is going to be huge, but it's going to drag down net revenue, which is obviously kind of what we're kind of looking for, I believe. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Obviously, they're still undervalued in my opinion, regardless if you use the hosting included in it or not. But yeah, I mean, they're a monster, you know. So it'll be interesting to see what they actually do for this quarter, and going forward, we'll get some better numbers and maybe be able to provide better data, I think. So that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you did or didn't. Let me know in the comments down below as well. Spreadsheet, like I always say, is available to Patreon members. And if you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. And I'm rambling here. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye.